The last emergency broadcast just faded to static, and the real test is about to begin at your front door. Your neighborhood is holding its breath. Police are overwhelmed. That little camera by your door is now just a plastic eye, blind and useless. Sunset is in 20 minutes. The rules have changed. But right now, with what you already own, you can transform your everyday house into a citadel of frustration for anyone with bad intentions. And it starts by exploiting the single greatest flaw in your home's illusion of safety. Your front door? It's mostly a polite suggestion. The lock is strong, but the frame it sits in is anchored with fasteners barely longer than a paperclip. That decorative trim is all that stands between a peaceful night and a sudden, violent entry. One solid impact from a shoulder or a boot, and the whole assembly fails. But tonight, we change the math. Phase 1, the door. We begin here not because it's the weakest point, but because reinforcing it shatters an intruder's expectations. Find your drill. Now, locate the longest screws in your house, 3 inches for inches, the ones you bought for a shelf. Remove the tiny screws from the metal strike plate and every hinge. Replace them with these anchors. Sink them deep until they bite into the wall stud behind the frame. You've just connected your door to the skeleton of your home. The force of a kick now travels into the structure itself. They're more likely to fracture a bone than this would. For the price of a handful of hardware, you've bought critical minutes. Now the hinges. Attackers don't always kick. A clever one will attack the hinge pins to lift the door out. Your new long screws prevent that. The door is now a unified part of the wall. Next, a simple barricade. That unused curtain rod or a sturdy piece of PVC pipe. Angle it from the inside handle down to the floor. Physics becomes your silent partner. The downward force transfers along the bar into the solid ground. No special rod. A sturdy chair wedged under the knob works on the same principle. Phase 2, the windows. Glass is an invitation. We must make it a treacherous, noisy puzzle. You need tape. Clear packing tape, duct tape, anything strong with adhesive. Create a tight grid pattern over every pane on the lower level. This isn't for looks. When struck, taped glass doesn't shatter and fall. It cracks and clings. It becomes a jagged, adhesive web that resists clearing and sounds like an avalanche with every piece pulled free. It's a brutal, time-consuming barrier. Then move your heaviest furniture, the bookcase, the desk, the unused treadmill, in front of these windows. Even if the glass is breached, a massive obstacle remains. And keep those curtains drawn. Uncertainty is a weapon. Let them guess what's waiting. Phase 3, the sliding door. These are traps waiting to spring. Most can be jimmied or lifted from their tracks. Cut a wooden rod or a sturdy piece of metal to fit snugly into the bottom track. This blocks lateral movement, but go further. Drill a small hole at a downward angle where the sliding panel meets the fixed frame. Insert a thick nail or a bolt. Now it's physically pinned shut. To remove it, they'd need to make more noise than they'd ever want. For a petty but effective touch, make the exterior handle revolting to grip. A dab of cooking oil mixed with dirt. It's a psychological foul. You've now hardened the primary entry points. But what about the gaping mouth of your home? Phase 4, the garage. This is a common backdoor. The manual release cord inside can be hooked through the top seal with a stiff wire. The fix? Secure that cord with multiple heavy-duty zip ties. You can still yank it free in a true emergency, but a probing wire can't generate the needed force. Unplug the electric opener. A silent, powerless door must be forced up manually. A loud, heavy task. If you can park a vehicle inside, it becomes a 2-ton roadblock. Phase 5, the illusion. Security is a mind game. You want your property to whisper bad risk. Place a giant, heavy water bowl by the back door. A well-chewed, indestructible toy in the yard. A dog on duty sign. The suggestion of a protective animal alters the risk calculus instantly. Leave a pair of worn, large work boots by the front step. Leave a talk radio station on inside. Human voices imply presence and witnesses. Use timers on a lamp or two to simulate unpredictable movement in different rooms. Phase 6, the approach. Make the very act of coming near your home a trial. Spread loose gravel or mulch beneath windows. Crackles like fire with every step. Plant thorny shrubs like rose bushes or holly under sills. They are nature's barbed wire. Drape a garden hose across a dark walkway. A simple trip hazard in the shadows can deter a cautious approach. All this builds time and doubt, but you need a final redoubt. Phase 7, the safe room. Choose an interior room with a solid door. Reinforce it just like the front door. Inside, keep a charged phone, a flashlight, water, and a simple, reliable tool for defense. Have a code word for your household. When heard, it means retreat to this room without debate. No heroics, just secure waiting. The core principle isn't about being impenetrable. It's about being a harder target than every house around you. Criminals are efficiency experts. Each obstacle you add, the 3 minutes of kicking, the snarling tape glass, the suggestion of a large dog, tips the risk-reward scale toward abandonment. They want an easy score, not a protracted, noisy siege. You are now that siege. If this plan makes you feel more secure, then you've understood the lesson. Please like this video and subscribe to Winds of Thought for more insights into navigating uncertainty. What is the first item you'll secure in your own home? Let me know below.